Ho, ho, ho! Hello from Santa's village. This is Santa Claus, and I'm going to tell you about a sequence of amazing and unforgettable events. It all started while I was feeding the reindeer one morning, just a few weeks before Christmas. I was surprised to find a young boy in the stable, a bright-eyed lad who just begged to stay and see how we prepared for Christmas. I agreed and took him around the village to introduce him to the elves. When we got to the carpenter shop, he was especially attracted to that and wanted to know if he could help out there. It turned out he had quite an aptitude. The child just endeared himself to everyone, and everything was going just great. I was especially pleased, as we were ahead of schedule on the inventory. Then, just when everything was going so well, tragedy struck. While out searching for a lost reindeer, I slipped on the ice, fell, and broke my leg. The doctor put it in a cast and said, "Well, that's it. Your trip is off. Christmas is only 2 weeks away. There's no way that you can make the trip this year." What a disaster! Everyone was terribly upset and dejected, except the child. He went right on working in the carpenter shop making toys. He moved into my house so he could kind of look after me. He exercised the reindeer every day, and he made me a beautiful set of wooden crutches so I could at least hobble around a bit. In addition to all those activities, he was working on a secret project in the carpenter shop. He had it all screened off so no one could see what it was. The elves were just about bursting with curiosity and finally tried to sneak past him to see the secret project. He caught them, though, and said, "If you'll get to work and help finish up these toys, that would please Santa very much, and then I'll show you the secret project." The elves agreed and quickly got to work. On Christmas Eve, they finished up the very last toy. So the child pulled aside the screen. You should have seen the excited expressions on the faces of those elves when they saw the wonderful secret project. I was here in the house, of course, with my bad leg and all. It was Christmas Eve, and the doctor had come by to be sure that I wasn't planning anything rash. I said, "No way, Doc. I get around a bit on these crutches, but there is no way I could make the trip." Just then, I heard a sound outside the door and could hardly believe my ears. It was the sound of jingling bells and reindeer hoofs. Doc opened the door, and there was my sleigh all loaded with toys. The child was in the driver's seat, and the elves were in the back shouting, "Come on, Santa, we can make the trip now. The secret project is a special place for you to ride." There, attached to my sleigh, was a most remarkable conveyance, like a chaise lounge, on which I could lie back with my leg all propped up in safety and comfort. Doc checked it out and said, "That looks great." So they bundled me up, and we took off on the big trip. As we reached each rooftop, the elves did all the chimney climbing, while I was in back checking off the list. When we got to the last stop, I was overjoyed. Here I didn't think we were even going to make the trip, and we were finished. The child came back and said, "Santa, I know you must be tired, but can we make one more stop?" I said, "Listen, we'll go anywhere you want to go. If it hadn't been for you, we could never have made the trip." The child said, "I just want to show you where I was born." We took off into the silent night, followed a bright star that I had never noticed before, and landed by a lowly stable. The child came back and said, "Come with me, Santa." He helped me up on my crutches, and together we started hobbling toward the stable. Suddenly I looked around, and the child had disappeared. Then I heard the child's voice coming from the stable saying, "Don't be afraid, Santa. This is where I was born on the first Christmas night. Drop your crutches and come kneel with us." Almost overcome by the sudden realization of what I was viewing, I let my crutches fall to the ground. Hesitantly, I walked forward, took off my hat, and dropped to my knees before an incredibly beautiful scene, the Nativity. When I could finally catch my voice, I asked, "Why? Why did you come to me?" The child's voice replied, "To remind you, dear Santa, to remind you and all the world that Christmas is my birthday, the birthday of the Lord."